an expert in cybersecurity and counter-terrorism. Shaun, thank you so much indeed for taking the time to talk to us. What stands out for you in this attack in terms of size, reach, the method of the attack?
Well, all of the above, really. I mean, there are probably about 40 customers of Kaseya involved, a target, who were infected with this malware. But each of those, in turn, has dozens of customers. And one security firm that's tracking this says they believe more than 1,000 companies altogether may have been infected by this sort of cascading effect. Very clever. They use the software that's used by these managed IT service providers who buy their software from Kaseya, and they use that to install their malware on those companies' customers' equipment. So, this cascading effect, 1,000 victims. I mean, it's a huge attack, and it's very cleverly done.
Do you expect any of the companies to pay up? I mean, there's some news that the hackers have been trying to negotiate individually with companies while also asking for that $70 million overall ransom, which they guarantee will then mean that they'll release the data for the companies to be able to access again.
Yeah, I mean, the issue would be who's going to organise the, these thousands or 1,000+ victims, many of whom are small or mid-sized businesses, probably all over the world. I mean, there seem to be victims on every continent from the reporting I've seen. Who's going to sort of organise them and create this pot of money that they can then use to pay the big ransom? Although it's obviously a lot less efficient, I suspect that what may happen is that companies will end up trying to negotiate individually with the hackers.
Shaun, what is it about Russia, if it is indeed Russia the origin of this hack, or other former Soviet states, that makes it almost easier, it seems, for groups to organize themselves in that part of the world?
Well, there's two very important things. Firstly, you've got a great education system which churns out a lot of computer scientists who, and there aren't that many, there haven't historically been that many opportunities for, for gainful legal employment by those people. So, the temptation is to turn to crime. The Russians, the Russian state, the Russian authorities don't really seem to go after hackers as long as they only target foreigners, Americans, for example. And in fact, they have been known to sort of use these guys, these criminal hacker gangs, to carry out intelligence operations, such as the attack on Yahoo. That seems to have been a sort of blended attack like that, back in 2016. And the final piece of this is that they keep getting paid. I mean, they keep getting paid, and I mean, it's interesting to me that this is a very sophisticated, what's called a supply chain attack of the kind that, previously we've really only seen from nation state intelligence services. But now, because of all the ransoms they've been collecting, these cybercrime gangs have the capability to stage the sort of attack that, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, only the NSA or the KG or the FSB could have pulled off.
Sure. Are you surprised that the hackers have demanded to be paid in Bitcoin? I mean, it wasn't that long ago that federal authorities in the United States traced part of a ransom that was paid in Bitcoin.
Well, yes, that has been done. Law enforcement authorities can trace parts of these payments, but that's the. They clearly are confident in their ability, perhaps overconfident in their ability to hide these payments through what are called tumblers, where many payments are put into one account and then split up into other accounts. So it's a form of digital money laundering.
Shaun, really appreciate it. Thank you so much indeed. Shaun Waterman in the US capital,
Always a
Washington.
pleasure.